one thing that we're going to talk about in the trends that we're going to focus on, and things that we don't want to do, and focusing on that. So one of those is mobile. Everybody here has got a cell phone. Everyone's here has got a laptop. Everyone's moving around. These things are changing us. We're always on. The other is the cloud. One of the gentlemen in that panel actually talked about applications that are driving SD-WAN, and it's absolutely true. The cloud is here to stay. It's made us unhooked from what we traditionally do from bare metal. But really what the other thing is, it's really hampering us today is social. Just like we're here today, everybody's got social media. Everyone's checking their Twitter account. Everyone's checking Facebook. Everyone's checking LinkedIn. Believe it or not, these are avenues for what I would consider to be accesses to problems. So what I mean by that is users outside. People think of LinkedIn as Facebook. Facebook is business. We don't know what it really is. So these are some of the trends that are transforming. But look, the premise, today the perimeter's changed. The world has changed, right? There is no longer the perimeter that we know of or have actually lived beyond. The aspect of what we consider to be premise-based security is different, especially in the world of mid-markets. They can't afford multiple amounts of what we call point solutions. If you look at the slide on what I would consider the left-hand side, probably your right, this is what today's environment is, still very much so in the SMB and mid-markets. Point solutions, kits, lots of them, don't know what to do with them. But the future is to the right. We really feel that this is this network-based security involvement where we see secure, efficient, simple type of solutions that we have. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we, as Netsurian, think we have solved for that. So we solve that with what we call our 3 pillars of approach. Connectivity, right? Got that? Security, which is what we're here to talk about, and compliance. So think about that for a minute. Connectivity is where it's at. Got to connect. Hey, the world is where we're at today. We got to protect. And a lot of people have to do what? Some type of compliance. NIST, SANS, PCI. Those are things that are here today. So really, real quick, raise of hands. Does everyone feel that if you're compliant, you're secure? Great. That's good. That's a good thing, right? Because there's a lot of people who feel that way. A lot of businesses feel that way. So how do we solve for this ever-changing, evolving cybersecurity environment, right? Look, it's not rocket science, right? There's no silver bullet associated to this. But the one thing we do need is partnerships. We cannot do this alone. You can't do it alone because there's just not enough of us. So how do we do that? One of those is, we talked a little bit earlier, right? This consolidation that's taking place at the edge, at the perimeter. How do we solve for that? How do we deal with the applications? These multiple business cases associated, or what I like to call use cases around it, and then managed services. That's here to stay. It's something we all want to do. It's stickiness. It's what drives us to do what we do every day. So we're going to focus in on one of our pillars today for the next 20 minutes or so, which is Connect. Connect is really the basis of what we do, and that's really the focus of my product. So who are we? What do we do? The one thing I'll be very upfront is I'm not a Velo Cloud. I'm not a Versa. I'm not a CloudGenix, a Big Leaf. That's not what we do. What we do is we focus on the branch. We focus on providing an effective, flexible, reliable, continuous, resilient, secure solution for those mid-markets, those customers, right? So when you think about business continuity, that's our focus. Our device is an integrated device that has 4G LTE built into it. It has the ability to use multiple carriers associated with it, so whether you have CenturyLink, Spectrum, whatever, we can use that. Security, it's like that Krispy Kreme donut with the sprinkles on top. It's nice, but now I've got the sprinkles. Security's built in. We have to have security, because if not, what happens? We've got a problem. The other is management, command and control, simplified. Look, the hard is over. We cannot use hard anymore. Hard is a bad word. Carrier agnostic, very important for us because we're not an MPLS. We're not a hybrid WAN. So we are carrier agnostic. Bring me your bandwidth. Bring me your internet. I can connect that. Lastly is regional, scalable. Because we use the cloud, we're following along with you. We're following along with what people have gone to as the application in the cloud. So we think we're delivering, and we know we're delivering, this connectivity for all organizations. So case in point, like I said, we're integrated, 4G LTE, secure cellular failover. We provide 4 nines associated for customers. It's very simple, connect. So CXD stands for connect, orchestrate, and direct. So very nice little box, which you see right here on the secure failover, transformation, migration. One of the things we do very well is allow you to do whitelisting, blacklisting right in the prem, control that in the cloud, manage that in the cloud, use next generation type firewall like app control, category-based web filtering, all this from what? A single command and control center in the cloud. So anywhere where you're at, can you manage these boxes? Anywhere. The other is optimized. So this infrastructure we can do is take your broadband and optimize that. So one of the things we do very well and we love is load balancing across multiple circuits, load balancing across LTE. The other thing that's very powerful is what I like to call intelligent path selection. So one of the embedded pieces that we do is VPN. We take the internet and build that dynamic multi-point VPN or site-to-site or fully meshed environment, but we allow you to steer, we allow you to control. You no longer have to have that mesh. You can have a 5-site location and say, site 1, I don't want to talk to 5. I want 2, 3, and 4 to talk back and forth, but I want 1 and 5 to stand alone. This puts the controls, the keys, in the hands of the user. The keys to the MSP to allow the MSP to wrap more services around it to understand what the service can deliver and what your value add can be to your partner. The other is that we've built this thing on our IP. It's vertically integrated. What I mean by that, I'm 6'4", vertically integrated, right? We're all here. We got a head, we got feet. This is what we've done. So if you look at our box and you come by our booth, the idea here is that we've taken this tailored fit device that provides 5 ports, growing to 28. And the idea is that, hey, it fits your need. I no longer have to stack multiple boxes to deliver. So let's take a point like Meraki. Meraki just recently came out with a box, right? Before that, you had to get a USB dongle. You had to go buy another box to get 4G LTE. Others had to put switches on top of it. They had to do this, they had to do that. Next thing you know, I've got 5 different boxes I've got to manage. How do you figure out and troubleshoot 5 different boxes? Here you can troubleshoot 1. Now you have 1 central pane of glass to be able to troubleshoot that. So some of the core value props that I like to always bring home is resiliency. Secure, resilient networks is what we do. Resiliency is what we offer to our customers. The other is security. We have a multi-layered approach. Our box is a firewall. Our box has deep packet inspection. But look, we also know that customers want other things. They need other types of controls. So we provide that. We service chain the ability to deliver SIM and next generation UTM type service to our customers. But at the end of the day, these are all great, but what makes us different from everyone else is cost. So recently, NSS Labs, you guys saw that, right? Fortinet did a big report, how they were touting themselves as an SD-WAN box. Great box, don't get me wrong, but it cost $2,000 to get that Fortinet box going in SD-WAN. It cost us $670 for 1 year. We're talking about a third, if not half, of all prices of our, who are the competitors in SD-WAN. But keep in mind, again, we're not a Versa, we're not a VeloCloud, we're not CloudGenix, Big Leaf, all those guys. But that's not what we want to do. We want to focus on the branch. We're trying to help the branch get simpler, get better, get resilient, give them continuity, help them with these applications that have been driving them to this environment we have today. So I'm going to summarize this and we'll open it up to all you guys for questions. So if you're looking for something to improve your security, here it is. But look, security is hard as it is, right? I mean, I don't think anybody in this room or anywhere in this conference would tell you that security is easy. But we've got a way to make it easy. That's the nice part. The other is segmentation. We can help with that. That's the other piece. Makes it easy. Because of our cloud and our ability to orchestrate these devices, we can break up your networks. We can segment your networks, all with a click of a button. Efficiency, 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 efficiency. Everybody in the mid-market space has got MPLS fatigue. They're trying to get away from it. They're looking for more efficient ways. Hence, broadband would not be in the mid-market space if they weren't looking for cost-efficient ways of returning on their investment. So it's about adopting this carrier-agnostic approach. We're there. That's our focus. We're not focused on MPLS, how we're going to solve MPLS. But if you want an alternative, leveraging internet, we're your guys. So it's just like sugar. You love sugar, but you need a little sweet and low. We're your sweet and low to your sugar. So think about it from that way. The last thing, which is really important, is maintaining visibility. The one thing that customers love is visibility. They want to know. MSPs, partners, everybody wants to see what's going on. Nothing's more frustrating than I got to figure out how do I log into a firewall or how do I log into a router and get visibility and tell them how their network is performing or how the network is not performing. So it's all about visibility. That is the key. So I think this is it. So thank you. Quick, to the point. So I'm going to open up for questions. I see you got a question. We weren't expecting a question. Oh, there you go.
All right. So, question one. I have a bunch of questions.
Okay.
Are you channel only?
No.
So, if I bring a client to you,
Yes.
how are you going to protect our client base?
How we're
Because
going to protect it?
obviously, right, deal registration, things like that.
So while we're not only channel today, we are moving to a channel model that we don't want to be direct. I have over 17,000 devices in the field today that I do no longer want to manage. I want to hand them off to a partner, to a channel to support that.
Okay, so you're exiting the direct model.
We are. We're moving fast.
Okay, one. Two, you talked about your device.
Yes.
Is your device your own homegrown developed device, or is it off-the-shelf, FortiGate, Palo, or something like that?
It's mine.
It's yours.
I built it. We
Okay.
own it. It's our IP, our intellectual property. But I will not sit here and tell you that I do not service chain with other third-party type solutions like a FortiGate or other devices or like Logstash or any type of other type of devices. I built it that way because I can service chain with them.
Okay. Next question, from security perspective.
Yes,
A perimeter security is just an element of security.
absolutely.
What's really important is identifying standard deviations, which is, for example, hey, this network generally talks to, say, between New York and Massachusetts on a daily basis. At 4 o'clock in the morning, if it's talking to Russia, that doesn't look normal. You haven't talked about any of that security componentry and that sort of proactive, well, that's an anomaly. How do we go about fixing that?
So that's a
Because
great
if I'm
question.
looking to you at a security perspective, I need that. Otherwise, you're just another firewall.
No, so from a security standpoint, we build VPNs and we monitor those VPNs. So if you've got, he'll say here, talking to New York, and all of a sudden something changes, we see that anomaly. We can alert on that anomaly. We can also tell you what's on the wire at the time of that anomaly. We're down to the application layer as well as the device layer that caused that anomaly.
So do you proactively stop that communication at 4 a.m.? Because obviously
If
the
you
client's
buy
employees...
my security service, that's or offer our security service as part of that, yes. We have our own SOC. It's manned 24/7, 365 days a year. We offer and we embed what we call sensors onto those devices, workstations, and servers that allow us to look for those anomalies and look for that session changes that take place inside that stream.
Okay, so you do have agents you can put on all the endpoints as well.
Absolutely.
Are those carbon black or
No,
something
they're ours. They're our endpoint as well. So as NetSirian, remember we talked about connect, protect, and our protect pillar is our own IP, which is Event Tracker. So we have our own SIM and our own endpoint protection service that is layered into our what we call SD-WAN today.
Okay, so once you've identified a breach or an anomaly that you are choosing to isolate...
It's called incident response. So we'll start an incident response service with you. We'll notify you. We'll do short-term containment, advise you of that device, because we actually have a playbook that's actually built between you and I if you buy that service that says, hey, do we unplug this device? Do we actually take this device offline? Or do you want us to isolate that device until we can get more information about that device?
Okay, and is that included in the monthly fee?
That is included in a monthly fee.
Okay, that's the end of my questions for now.
That's all right. It's good questions. That's it? I thought you was going to ask questions. Oh, you're just a passer. All right. Any other questions? Was this helpful? Yes? What's that? So NetSirian owns Event Tracker. So NetSirian is the company, and Event Tracker is our product that we purchased a long time ago. So we've integrated that into our NetSirian solution. Hence why we have a connect, protect, and comply. As part of that service, we're focusing on helping connect the network, protect the network, and enable the compliance aspect of a network.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No,
but
help yourself.
I have had clients that had used your service and had chosen to move away
From
because
Event Tracker?
no, from the Turian.
Oh,
Because they weren't satisfied with not necessarily the product as a solution, but potentially the service and maybe the people who pick up the phone.
that's okay.
I don't have any details on that.
No, but let me
I do
address
know
it.
that they came to me instead. So my question to you here is, if I'm a channel, a future channel, and I need to have my engineers reach out to your people, and your people are not responsive, that could be a problem, even if your product is amazing.
Right. So, first of all, let's address that. With the WAN solution set that I own now as a product manager, we actually have our own support model associated to our SD-WAN solution. So we have our own carved out group that's 24/7, 365 that's sitting in Houston today as a knock, waiting for a phone call so we don't have that same issue. Because it is a different experience for an MSP or a channel partner than it is a direct customer. I can't change what happened in the past. All I can do is change what's going for the future. Someone who's come from the telco world of CenturyLink and Level 3, I know exactly where you come from, and it's all about answering the ticket. It's about being quick to the draw, and having a triage that actually can solve for a problem versus I'll get somebody on the phone to tell you about the problem. So absolutely. All right. I think that's it. Well, thank you.